Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm going to give you a real quick background, Reader's Digest version. For those of you that know me, bear with me. But I am legally blind. I see very little. I can't see any of you, and I'm going to just go with the fact that might be a good thing for tonight. Nothing personal. It's a crowd thing. But I have to let you know that I understand the times that we live in are tough. And this is in no way a political message, but I know that the economy is terrible here as well as around the world. We see things in the news and on the newspaper every single day that Jesus himself talked about when the disciples inquired as to how do we know when the end is near. And he talked about wars and rumors of wars. And, we're ending some wars, continuing others, and there's threats of yet others breaking out. We see the most insane weather pattern, that there's signs in the heavens. We're in the middle of one of the largest solar events in recent history. I think they said within the past 10 years, and it's expected just to get worse. And we know from what we see that we're in a time that causes a great amount of stress. Bishop has talked in the past about how many diseases that we know that are caused as a result of stress. Heart disease, cancers. And it can be so hard to cope sometimes when I was like, already? I thought I was getting sent home. All right, well, okay, I'll take that as an icebreaker. So we know that there's all kinds of stress to be had, and we know that the race is long. This isn't a sprint that we're in. Hopefully we're all going to be here a good long time until our Savior comes back for us. So we have to be able to persevere and push through to the end, and that's not easy. And I want you to know that I stand here tonight as a person that didn't have to study, not because I'm smart, but I didn't have to study and read about somebody that endured hardship. And I never thought I'd say this, but thank God that I have gone through some things, because otherwise I'd have no business being here. And I have a purpose in the kingdom. I understand what it's like to lose your eyesight, to have a handicap. I was diagnosed when I was 5 years old with retinitis pigmentosa. It's a hereditary degeneration of the retina that's supposed to lead to total blindness. I haven't been able to drive for 12 years, and it's questionable whether or not I should have ever been able to. I'm at the point where not only can I not see you here, but I can't see my face in the mirror. I haven't, and go ahead, make the jokes. I know it's a good thing. Waiting for somebody to say it, but I understand what it's like. I know what it's like to be labeled. I know what it's like to be labeled as special. From a teacher I respected as a young child, and being out at recess and having a ball thrown at me and hitting me in the head, even though I was looking right at it, and having the teacher say, "Guys, you can't do that with Jeff. He's special." I understand what it's like to be rejected by friends and bullied and made fun of for no reason other than the fact that I'm different. I have a problem. I know what it's like to not have very many friends, because all through high school I was terrified to tell anybody exactly where I was and what I was facing. I know what it's like to face death. At age 21, I was diagnosed with not one but two forms of malignant cancer: germ cell seminoma and embryonal carcinoma. Embryonal carcinoma alone has a better than 90% kill rate, at least at the time that I had it 21 years ago. There's really no reason I should be here. I've endured heart rhythm and heart valve problems my whole life. Next month I have to go and get a second opinion for a surgical thing that they want to do. And I know what it is to lay awake at night in fear. I know what it is to cry out to God and foolishly so shake my fist and blame him. Why? Why are you doing this? Why do you allow this? Why do so many wicked people get to go through life and have a seemingly easy task of it. And others who have a heart for you, that love you, are constantly facing ordeal after ordeal. I found out that I had cancer after my first year in Bible school. A month before I was supposed to get married. Against everybody's advice, went ahead and did it, got married. A month later, I had surgery, then started chemotherapy. I know what it is to think your life is over, barely when it's gotten started. I know what it is to be financially devastated, over $100,000 in medical bills because I didn't have health insurance. So through no fault of my own, I was ruined. I had horrible credit for most of my adult life. And I've also been in trouble financially through my own stupid actions. I know what it's like to fear what's going to happen in the future. I know what it's like to wonder, what am I going to be when I grow up? I didn't get my bachelor's degree till I was 38 years old. I know what it is to feel useless. And I understand how it feels to cry yourself to sleep, wondering what it would be like if I had only had the courage to end it. I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to take pills, or any one of a number of other ways. I've thought about it. I've begged God to kill me. I know how you feel. There's almost nothing that any of you are facing tonight that I haven't experienced personally already. I'm not that old. For a long time, I struggled. I struggled with my faith. I've been a Christian since 1987. I've always had an interest, if you will, in the things of God prior to that. But really, 1987 is when I got saved, gave my heart to the Lord, and I prayed, God, heal my eyes. God, keep me from this, keep me from that. And it seemed like there was just trouble after trouble. And I've wondered, and I've asked God, and why? What pleasure do you take in this? What's my purpose? You're not a God that just throws things together and sits back and waits to see what's going to happen next. You have a plan, but I don't see it. You've got to know I understand. And for a while now, I kind of got it. I figured it out, but it wasn't until recently a good friend of mine, if you were here in October when Rabbi Cliff Maynard came and shared, I had the opportunity to sit down during lunch with him several weeks back, and he told me an incredible story. And it's a story that you're not going to find in your Bible. It's passed down by the sages and Jewish families since the time of Elijah, about 3,000 years. But it captures so much what I'm getting at tonight. And it goes something like this. There was a rabbi who, not unlike myself, had grown very upset and very discouraged and very disillusioned with the things he had seen in the church.